Hi there, I'm Myrna Loy and I'm broadcasting out of the east of England to you on YouTube. I'm the managing editor of Blackbright News, and you can find Blackbright News at www.issuu.com/Blackbright News. Now today's inspiration is about being a slave. Sometimes we think that we're free, and I wake up in the morning, I get up, I go to the bathroom, I put on my clothes, and then I think, oh yeah, I've got to go to work. If I don't go to work, my bills are not going to get paid. So I kind of feel kind of restricted. If I don't have money, if I don't go to work, there's no petrol for my car, there's no food in my cupboards. So sometimes when we think that we're being totally free, we're not really free unless you're out in the desert somewhere or in a beautiful garden where you've got everything you like the Garden of Eden. You're not free at all. Every day we wake up, we kind of think, yes, we're free, but we've got to watch what we say in certain circumstances. We watch how we dress when we're going to work in order to be acceptable. In all our behaviour, and it is a form of self-discipline, and we all have to be accountable to someone. But it's what's driving us really. Are we being that way at the expense of not being true to ourselves? That's what I was trying to think of. I mean, when we are dressing the way we want, are we thinking, oh God, when we wake up in the morning, can I wear that? What will my boss say? What will my colleagues say? In that way, you're kind of a slave to your mind, aren't you? You're not really free. You're doing things to please people. Some of us have a mortgage. If you have a mortgage, you're a slave to the system because you can't stop working until that mortgage gets paid. If you're paying rent, you can't stop working because the rent needs to be paid. They do have something, they do have this plot of land where if you buy the title to the land, you're okay. But that's the only way. Even if you've paid off your mortgage, if there was a war or something, the government can still take your house and everything. So it's not exactly yours. So you can be working for nothing, really. I was thinking about that couple that had bought a property in that South Kensington near Grenfell Tower. They paid $660,000 for it. And because they can't get the cladding, because the cladding has to be done by the people who pay them the mortgage, the financiers, they can't. That property has gone down and it's now worth $90,000. So they're paying a mortgage on $660,000, even though the property is worth $90,000. So who are they a slave to? So we have to, how do we liberate ourselves from this slavery? People seem to see slavery as people in chains, people being hung up and lynched, people being beaten and told what to do. But psychological and mental slavery is worse, because even though we're not physically enslaved, we are mentally enslaved, and we're mentally enslaved by the system. And in a lot of ways, we can't get out of it. You'll notice that more and more we're being forced not to use cash. If we use cash, there's a penalty. We're being forced to change our cars through this ultra low vehicle emissions, ULEV. And it's forcing people who have bought a car in a certain year, I think it's after 2005 or 2016. If you've bought a car before then, anytime you go to London, you're going to have to pay £21.50, £10 for just entering into London, and then another £12.50 if you actually go in the congestion charge area. So they're forcing you now to sell your car, even though there's nothing wrong with it. or pay that penalty. And that £21.50 is a daily charge. And what they're trying to do is say, oh, because they've signed up this agreement with the EEC and they've promised this target, everybody has got to get rid of their cars. It's not right. So unless you're rich and you can do whatever you like to a certain degree, and they do, they avoid taxes by claiming this and buying that and investing in this and trusts and goodness knows what else. You're a slave. You're a slave to the system. And the system is big. The system is financial. The system is social. The system is technological. The system is spiritual. The system is everywhere. Now they're saying that, okay, now we can't find people for these jobs because we're kicking them out of the country. We don't have to worry about that. We're going to have robots to do the job. And the robots are going to have nothing to do with immigration because technological improvements are going to mean that we're going to have robots. So we don't have to worry about people. The world is going to be ruled by robots. So you're scared to leave your job, because if you leave it, you know you're going to be replaced. You can't bargain anymore. You've got no selling power, regardless of how many degrees you have. So who are you? Are you really liberated? If you've got no freedom of expression, if you can't stay home when you want to without there being repercussions, if you can't walk where you want to go because you're not sure if you're going to get shot or killed or murdered or robbed, are you really that free? So I just wanted to put it out there, because sometimes we do believe that we are free and we're walking, we're doing exactly what we like. We don't realise we're just robots to the systems. We're puppets to the system. From me going down to those going up. Like I said, the only people who have any element of control, well, the one who has control over everyone, of course, is God. So if you're not clean with him, then I feel sorry for you. But in this material world, in this carnal world, in this temporary world, you're a slave. That's all I wanted to say. Just putting it out there.